oldest ships sunken around the world. The oceans and seas around the world contain thousands of sunken ships dating back thousands of years. According to some estimates, only less than 1% of these ships have been identified as sinking, while only a fraction of them have been discovered. Therefore, scientists and historians see the discovery of any shipwreck as a discovery of a new treasure that deserves global celebration. The following report reviews the most famous ships sunk, according to the Live Science website. Rosemary, a British warship, sank in 1545, during a battle with the French fleet in the port of Portsmouth on the south coast of England. The ship sank after it fired all its weapons from one side, and researchers believe that it sank because the water flooded it through the firing holes, but French researchers deny that story, and it is likely that it was hit by French cannon fire. Rosemary sank in a few minutes, with only 40 people remaining of their 400-person capacity, and in 1971 divers discovered the shipwreck near Portsmouth, and in 1982 the ship ascended above sea level for the first time in 400 years. Her holdings, 28,000 items, which included weapons, cash, armor and personal messages, were preserved in a museum dedicated to her. Scorpio USS. The year 1968 witnessed the disappearance of 3 French, Israeli and Russian submarines, believed to have been loaded with nuclear warheads in mysterious circumstances. Then the situation became more ambiguous with the disappearance of the American submarine USS Scorpion, on May 21 of the same year. The Scorpion was an advanced nuclear submarine, and its disappearance worried the United States a lot, and it made the U.S. Navy work hard to reach its position before anyone else. The Scorpion force reached 2 nuclear warheads, each with a destructive force of 11,000 tons of TNT, in addition to 99 crew members. In October 1968, the wreckage of the submarine Scorpion was found on the seafloor at a depth of more than 9,800 feet, equivalent to 3,000 meters underwater, at the edge of the remote area of the Middle Atlantic Ocean, known as the Sargasso Sea. The U.S. Navy formed an investigation team, and the main body of evidence were 15 sound effects recorded by an American listening station during the sinking of the submarine. Analysis of the sounds indicated that the Scorpion exploded at a depth of about 2,000 feet, or 610 meters, on the sea floor. The committee did not find a conclusive reason for the sinking, and the court ruled that the destruction of the destroyer Scorpion was caused by an unjustified catastrophic accident. Titanic. The discovery of the shipwreck Titanic came in 1985, to cover up a secret U.S. Navy mission to photograph and collect more data about the wreck of an American nuclear submarine that sank in mysterious circumstances. After exploring and photographing the wreckage of the American submarine, Robert Ballard, head of the exploration team, has only 12 days to search for the wreck of the Titanic before they are forced to return to the port. Exploration work has reached a major scenario as to the causes and the manner in which the ship sank, and the scenario assumes that the ship split in half shortly after it sank before it reached the bottom of the ocean. Ballard told National Geographic magazine in 2008 that researchers had used the information to locate the wreck of the Titanic, and only a few days before the end of the mission, the ship was found divided into 2 parts at a depth of 12,460 feet, equivalent to 3.6 kilometers, off the coast of Newfoundland. According to a study published in 2008, the nails fastened to the hull of the ship were faulty, which caused them severe damage after colliding with the iceberg. Vasa. The warship Vasa, the pride of the Swedish Navy, was when it was launched in 1628. It was built on the orders of the King of Sweden, Gustav Adolphus, as part of his expansionist war in Poland, and was exquisitely equipped to be one of the most advanced warships in the world. They celebrated the ship on August 10, 1628, and barely moved 1 nautical mile, 1.6 kilometers, before stumbling and sinking only 20 minutes after it set sail. They discovered the Vasa wreck in Stockholm Harbor in the 1950s. In 1961, The lifting of the wreck was secured in stages until it was finally transported to the dry dock after 18 months of rescue and diving work. Since 1990, the wreck of the Vasa has been on display at a museum in Stockholm, as the ship's timber has been constantly washed with rain from preservatives to slow its decomposition. Archaeologists and historians have studied the wreck to find out more about why it sank. In 1995, they concluded that late changes to the design of the ship made it heavier, which affected its balance and stability, because it became close to water, and the matter became worse when a gust of wind blew, causing it to sink. Queen Anne's Revenge. The Queen Anne's Revenge was just a French merchant ship before it was seized by pirate Edward Teach, nicknamed Blackbird or Blackbeard, one of the most famous pirates in American heritage. The pirate transformed a merchant ship into a warship with 40 cannons, gained notoriety from attacking ships, and made its winter center in a cove on the shores of North Carolina, in exchange for sharing his spoils with its ruler. In 1718, Queen Anne's Revenge ran aground at the entrance to the city of Beaufort in the state of North Carolina, and Blackbird escaped on board a smaller ship and took with him his treasures, leaving the ship at the mercy of the waves, but the governor of Virginia in the end sent 2 ships from the Navy British monarchy to eliminate it. On November 22, 1718, Lieutenant Maynard led an attack, and the pirate was shot dead. The fate of the ship remained a mystery until 1996, when a new wreck was found believed to belong to the ship at a depth of about 28 feet, equivalent to 8.5 meters, from the water and about 1.6 kilometers from the beach, near the entrance to the city of Beaufort. It was excavated in 2007, and 250,000 artifacts were found and placed in the North Carolina Museum. USS Arkansas. The USS Arkansas was a U.S. warship that was deliberately sunk during a nuclear test known as the Crossroads. The test included the launch of a nuclear bomb at Bikini Atoll, in the Marshall Islands, near the equator in the Pacific Ocean. Arkansas was ready for service in 1912, and was seen fighting in the European and Pacific arenas during World War II. Before being sent in 1946 to fulfill their final mission, it took part in a group of ships in an experiment to test the impact of nuclear attacks on ships at high seas. Arkansas remained resilient after the launch of the first test for Crossroads, as a bomb dropped 23,000 tons of plutonium, but in the second test, known as the Shot Baker, the result was the occurrence of the first nuclear disaster in the world. As an explosion occurred unexpectedly strong, it instantly created a gas bubble of about 1,000 feet, 300